It's been a long time, but Lara Croft is back. Maybe not in the way people wanted, but it's nice to have something new to play since 2018's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. After the fun mobile outings that were Lara Croft Relic Run and Lara Croft Go, our favorite adventure returns in a new mobile title, Tomb Raider Reloaded. This is a free-to-play game that celebrates the classic and legend eras of Tomb Raider, but reimagines everything for one fun nostalgic package that you can finally download today on Android and iOS devices. First teased in 2021, during the 25th anniversary of the Tomb Raider franchise, it has been a long, agonizing wait since Tomb Raider Reloaded was announced. If you're like me, you probably download the early access testing versions online just to get that Tomb Raider fix, and the game has significantly come a long way since. Now, Tomb Raider Reloaded isn't a typical Tomb Raider adventure, however, a lot of what makes a Tomb Raider game is here, from the action to the puzzles, but this game is a roguelike, the type of gameplay you would find in games like Returnal or Hades. Since it is a roguelike, Tomb Raider Reloaded is all about choices, and these choices will either help you or work against you depending on what you are able to choose. The longer you play the game, the more difficult it becomes. After a warm welcoming through chapters 1 and 2, chapter 3 sees a significant spike in difficulty, and chapter 4, where I am currently, almost feels impossible to beat. These types of games will be challenging and frustrating, and since this is a mobile game, it's also where the immense grind comes in. The game requires constant upgrades to Lara's equipment the further you go. The stronger she is, the better your runs will be. But it takes a lot to get her to that point. Replaying previous levels are a must, as they will net you with things like upgrades, currency, and new weapons. But replaying chapters can be a blast since Lara will be so overpowered that you can go through each section with one-hit kills, and this speeds things up. There are also various loot crates that you can earn or purchase that hold a lot of helpful rewards. Reloaded contains a nice variety of weapons that are randomly earned, but Lara starts the adventure with her iconic dual pistols. Each weapon functions differently, and like the rest of Lara's equipment, will have to be upgraded to perform the greatest amount of damage, and when Lara can only attack when standing still, having the ultimate power is needed. Personally, I stuck mostly with the dual pistols, but it's best to test each weapon out to find what you like best and what you're willing to upgrade most. Duplicate weapons and other gear can be crafted together to create stronger versions, or dismantled for parts to help upgrade other equipment, and there is a lot to focus on in this game. Between the various crafting and dismantling of equipment, to upgrades and the immense daily and weekly tasks and goals to do along with any special events going on, it's a lot to process. Once you gain an understanding of the game, it's easier, but as a first-time player, it's completely overwhelming coming into Tomb Raider Reloaded. Outside of the sometimes annoying grind are the microtransactions. They are thrown in your face at every chance. This game is predatory on wanting your money. I played a lot of mobile games, and this is probably one of the worst titles I have seen with microtransactions. Tomb Raider Reloaded is one of those games that loves to remind you that there is always something you can spend your hard-earned money on. Want to prepare for the next chapter? Here's a special deal, only it never feels like these exclusive offers prepare you for what's to come. Log in that day, there's a pack on sale. Beat a boss, there's a pack. Special event, pack. It's very annoying. And while it does add to your upgrades, it's more of a helpful aid than a satisfactory purchase because you will still have to grind. Tomb Raider Reloaded has a story, an extremely loose story at that. It's simple enough for newcomers to follow, but if you play the 1996 original or the anniversary reimagining, you will have a greater understanding of each chapter and the artifacts. And it's a real treat to go through each chapter to see the similarities and the nods to those previous games, like the infamous T-Rex fight from Anniversary. Currently, the game has progressed through Peru and is working its way through Greece, so there is still plenty more to come for the story. Keely Hawes returns to voice Lara Croft once again, continuing her streak as the longest running voice actress for the character. I could listen to Keely Hawes' angelic voice all day. She has never disappointed in her portrayal as Lara Croft and doesn't disappoint here, despite her role limited to voiceovers introducing each new location Lara visits. And the nostalgia bomb keeps on giving because Lara comes in contact with various figures from her past adventures like Winston, Anaya, and Curtis, who offer her useful power-ups or help Lara at a price, such as the villainous Werner von Croy. I love seeing Anaya and Curtis return because outside of Reloaded, we'll likely never see them return. However, where I'm at in the game, I haven't come across Curtis yet, so I'm assuming he'll be introduced during the Greece chapters. For any Tomb Raider game or spin-off, Lara's extensive wardrobe is always fun to dive into, though in Tomb Raider Reloaded, at least at the moment, her outfit selection is severely lacking with only 3 outfits. Let alone to unlock these further outfits, you need to earn outfit pieces by grinding. Collecting a certain amount will unlock each one, but they aren't given away as freely as they could be. Though there will be more outfits in future updates, it will also be a grind to get them. But each outfit includes its own unique attributes and can be upgraded the further you go up in your rank, which becomes quite useful. With Tomb Raider Reloaded, you'll get as much out of the game as the amount of time and energy you put into it. Despite the challenge and the frustration, I kept coming back to the game, likely out of my love for the series as I'm a sucker for anything Tomb Raider related. I love how different each chapter is in its environment and the enemies you fight, especially the boss fights, with each main boss being different from one another. It felt like I was progressing through the levels of Lara's very first adventure. Outside of level replayability, there's even more to do with optional tombs and special events that can help unlock more upgrades and whatnot, but these will pose a challenge. In general, a lot of these more difficult fights can be severely overwhelming and confusing when there are so many projectiles on screen from both the enemies and Lara herself, resulting in many more deaths. Despite this, a lot of care has been placed into the game and there seems to be so much more to look forward to. The game is also available through Netflix. It's a separate version downloadable through Android and iOS, and a Netflix account is required to play the game. There are benefits to this version, which include no ads and no microtransactions, which for a microtransaction and ad-heavy game such as Reloaded is a huge bonus. However, should you lose access to your Netflix account, you will not be able to play the game, nor will you be able to move that progress over to the main free-to-play version. So if you are planning on playing this for a long time, make it certain that you are okay with the version you are playing on. And what happens to Tomb Raider Reloaded if you don't have internet access? Well, the game does launch, and really the main thing affected here are the microtransactions and the ads, which may not entirely be a bad thing. And when that day comes and the game is shut down and delisted, this is what we should probably expect. Tomb Raider Reloaded may not be the exact revisit many want, but it's still a fun nostalgic reminisce. The game can be fun and challenging, but it's also difficult, grindy, and very predatory in its microtransactions. This is a game that begs you to spend your hard-earned cash to level up everything faster because you have to, and even then, you still aren't prepared. Unlike the addicting Lara Croft Relic Run or the beautiful Lara Croft Go, Tomb Raider Reloaded isn't really a pick up and play type of game. While you can exit out of the game and have the option to pick up where you left off, some chapters can drag on, and patience and persistence is required. Reloaded has the huge bonus of Keely Hawes returning as Lara Croft. The game's environments and enemies are nicely varied and beautiful, but Reloaded's roguelike gameplay feels limited in the type of player it wants. It doesn't feel entirely welcoming to a casual crowd. With Reloaded, its pros aren't without a number of cons. But why not download Tomb Raider Reloaded today and let me know your thoughts on this new mobile game in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe for future content, and if you want more Tomb Raider videos, check out my other channel, House of Croft. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.